What's going on?
What's your favorite spot?
I know, huh?
That's why I'm here.
Yeah?
It's actually trying to do a little video to kind of give a backstory as to why
They hate me?
what happened before leads into now.
Oh, right.
Since this is where you were at.
Right, yeah, right here.
Right here. Now, did they have those signs up when you were here at all?
No.
I didn't think so.
Those signs were not there. They put them up after.
That's what I thought.
Probably because of me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I never trespassed on this side. I never went on this side.
Nope, I saw that video. I didn't remember about the signs, but I remember you were over in this area.
Yeah.
And they were walking out this way.
Yeah. And then there was a guy parked here, didn't have a front license plate, and I pointed it out.
Do you remember what kind of vehicle that was?
It was like a super, like a suit, like a sports car.
Sports car?
Yeah.
Because there's that white pickup truck. I think you
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Every day I pass by here, still no front plate.
Yeah. And I just said, I guess you don't have to have front license plate if you work for, you know, you got blue privilege. So.
Unlike white privilege.
Yeah.
That still blows my mind from last night.
Oh, yeah.
So I was driving this way.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the guy walking through that parking lot, and the wind just caught his suit just enough to where I could see that fucking badge. I know what they look like because I have a friend who's an FBI agent down in Chicago. So I saw that badge. I was like, what the fuck? But I was already going up to the intersection. So I quickly whipped back around, came back this street again, and he's walking in the back door behind that fucking city hall.
Well, I wrote a letter to all the city council members about how they're dragging their feet with the investigation. But it's just crazy how they're dragging their feet because they're trying to make this go away. They don't know how to make it go away.
No, see, the longer they drag it on,
the worse
likely they're going to do anything because they already have nothing.
Right.
And if they dig into that video, they're going to look at it. We still don't have nothing.
Right.
They're just trying to find something.
Right.
Speaking of that, did you talk to that lieutenant?
They're investigating, the misconduct of the officers, but yet they have not yet got my statement or any of it. They never took it. You know, because they know that I'm going to put them on their camera. You know what I mean? And they don't want that. I don't know. I don't know why they're dragging their feet. Honestly, I don't know. They know that if they drop the charges, they're thinking that I'm going to sue, and they don't want that. But I'm not planning on doing that. But if I don't get my cameras back soon, I'm going to have to just to get them back.
Think the city manager would be in, or is he still waiting to fuck up at home by,
So I don't know. That's another thing too. Getting a hold of these guys, it's I don't know. It's unless you're like friends with fucking somebody higher up, man, you can't get anybody.
Yeah, we'll find out in a second. I'm a little fucking heated though because I haven't heard shit from the chief. You haven't heard shit what's going on.
All right. Like it's like, do they think if they ignore us that we'll just go away eventually?
Nope. Why do you think I'm here?
I know.
In the exact same spot, pretty much. Because there was one parked here. As soon as I got out of the car, he left. He was parked right here. Kind of looked at me and drove off. And then I had another one drive past here just a little before you got here. And then that black unmarked that just went by.
Right.
But nobody stopped and said anything yet. I'm just waiting. I'm hoping. Something we can help you with? Yeah, you can first off, start off, give you a goddamn fucking bottle of water because I'm fucking thirsty. Second off, you can fucking explain what the hell is actually going on.
I think, was it James Freeman that did that? Or was somebody's like, can I help you? Yeah, can you grab me a Coke? Or yeah, could you give me a coffee?
The one thing that I love, James Freeman did this and I decided, because he's like, hey man, you should try this shit. I don't talk to him much anymore because he doesn't really get out as much.
Right.
But a couple of years back, 3 years ago now, we were going back and forth about things, and he's like, why don't you try that? Just go up to one of these cops, wherever they're at, and just ask them if you could search a vehicle, ask them if they're on drugs, do you have any narcotics, all that shit. I ended up fucking flipping the script, and this cop actually gave me a tour of the inside of the squad.
Oh, for real?
In the fucking back end, everything. The police chief over here doesn't even want to give me a return call in over 2 weeks, and I'm just trying to get to the bottom of things, so I don't know if maybe he's aware of the situation, or if there can be any resolution through him versus trying to deal with the chief that he never told wouldn't have like a quick like 2 minutes just to kind of, the DA has no idea what's going on because they haven't received anything either. So, appreciate it because quite frankly, and this is my opinion and it's also fact, it was an unlawful arrest and I'm presuming that's why they haven't done anything yet, but this is going on St. Patrick's Day weekend until now. We have not had a single bit of resolution. So, yeah, and you can abbreviate it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of long-winded on it, but it's just frustrating.
So, like, is it beyond that point all the way there? How do you differentiate? Because I saw some kids sitting in the front yard right here, just right here, playing
I
football.
know for a fact that front section, but how far back over this way?
Yeah, like, they should have put another sign from this sign to this sign.
You know what? Every time that I go to a department and recommend that shit, only one has done it so far. Everyone else looks like I'm an ass clown for pointing that out. Well, it should be obvious. No, it isn't, because what? Because you see the fucking back bumper?
Yeah.
Does it end at that fucking curb, or does it end 3 feet out? Does it end
Right.
this tree?
Right.
Because if I walk and cut across right here, the sign's over here.
Right.
So if I walk this way,
Yeah.
same thing with the park. How far from the park can you come over this way? Because I've seen kids playing at this park a couple times coming really close to the parking lot.
Right.
Obviously, they're not but
What do you suppose was behind them putting a park right by the police station?
that was actually Dave's request.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. He wanted that because he likes kids and he wants his community to be more focused on bringing up the kids the correct way and get them used to being around police and not scared of the police.
I guess,
He had a lot of good ideas. You know, he wasn't one of the bad guys. I've checked out his record. He actually is one of the only ones that does not have a fucking jacket with any bad marks on it.
Yeah?
In all those frickin' years. I've never seen that. They usually have at least one blemish somewhere.
Yeah.
Usually in the beginning 2 to 3 years, but no, he was clean as a freaking whistle. I've met him a few times. The guy was always a straight shooter.
Yeah,
he
never
asked me to do this.
Never talked to him.
No. See,
He never came out. When I was out here, he never came out. He never asked me why I was doing it. I think, I thought that he sent his officers out here just to approach me and say something to me while they were walking through the thing, just so I would cuss him out and shit. So I don't know. That's how I felt.
He would not have done that.
Well, because when I was emailing him, he was sending all the emails to the DA. And then when I said, why are you doing this? It doesn't even pertain to the case. And he says, I'm not doing it. And I said, then why is the DA saying that I'm harassing you with emails? But I'm just asking you questions about who this fucking guy is. Because I asked them who his name is and they wouldn't identify. So I'm asking who this thug is. I mean, I was mad because, hey, the guy don't identify. He's a thug to me in a fucking costume. So, yeah, maybe my approach was nasty and rude.
No, but the chief Pearson was a deputy chief, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And from what I'm seeing right now, without you even saying what you just said, I would actually say that he's probably the one who was doing the emails.
Okay.
Because he obviously doesn't. He's got a bone to pick with you for some reason.
Well, he was one of the 9 testifying officers that got on the stand and testified against me on my case first time.
I mean, as far as Chief Moore goes, it would be his job to do any of that stuff. Otherwise, he has a bad record and he's trying to get out. So what does he do? Did he just rev it?
Yeah, he sped off real fast going that way. Yeah, they just came through that way. Why would you come through that way and then come this way?
Well, they went this way and then they took a left at that first street right there.
Yeah.
Where are they going? Huh. Well, they didn't have fucking cherries and berries rolling.
No.
Oh, I was fucking going home if there wasn't a traffic stop right there.
Huh.
Which has happened.
Yeah.
How do you get pulled over right next to the fucking police station? Because I had a traffic stop not even, maybe a month or 2 ago? I'm fucking here where that truck's at. I'm just rolling this way in like 20 lights. Now I just got a traffic stop on the other side of the fucking river in those apartments over there. I'm fucking heading home and I see this. I'm like, right in front of a cop shop.
Wow. Like, what was he? Like, you didn't know if he was going to come in here or not?
I don't know who that is.
Do they got automatic door openers?
It's a sensor that's in there.
Huh.
Got a closer one up. Watching this. Damn it, I'm proud of it. So I have been out here since about maybe 5-10 minutes before you texted me
Yeah.
on the way. And still, nobody said a damn thing. This sucks. Expecting something. And if that city manager was not in meetings, I was going to say, I'm walking over there and I'm going to get in this motherfucker's face. Like a real journalist would.
Oh, the city manager says in meetings?
Yeah.
Oh.
Otherwise, I would have gone over there and just, all right, this is what we need to do.
Right.
It's not illegal.
Right.
It's somewhat illegal.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I was thinking about, I never made it down to the and below. Somebody gave me a better idea. Is to go up to the Dane County Regional Airport and record that shit. And see what happens.
Oh, the airport?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I never went up to an airport before.
Neither have I.
There's our airport in Janesville just turned public.
Oh, it is public now?
Yeah.
South side?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. That's
Yeah,
where
they just did that just now, so it's all public, so you can catch flights from Janesville now. I don't know how more expensive it would be.
I don't know. That's interesting. I never heard that. 'Cause that's like 2 minutes down the street. Uh-oh.
That's where they sit there, and they'll just sit there and wait for time to come down.
But I have noticed for the last probably about 3 weeks, I haven't seen more than one cop parking that fucking parking lot day or night.
Oh, yeah?
The last 3 weeks in the city parking lot.
Yeah.
Burger King every once in a blue moon, not
Yeah.
like an everyday thing like it used to be. Because there's times where I'll just sit in that fucking parking lot if they're in the Burger King or old Burger King lot, and I was fucking standing there on the sidewalk doing this,
Yep.
and then they eventually leave,
Yep.
and now I haven't seen them.
Yeah. People are like, why do you do this? I guess because they don't sit in that parking lot anymore. They're either patrolling and doing their jobs, or they found some other parking lot to sit in.
Well, there was the one I got criticized for because he was parked on the side here. So you got the parking lot here, the street here. He was parked in a parking spot. I rolled up behind him, sat there for a little bit. And I already driven past the guy, and he's sitting there on his fucking phone. So I sat behind him. Seconds later, he leaves. I got criticized for that, saying, well, maybe he's doing a traffic thing, like he's clocking speeders or whatever. Not from that spot. He's clocking fucking traffic on center.
Right.
Maybe you should fucking open up a Google map.
Right.
Seriously, they don't do a lot of that shit, the speed traps. I've noticed that.
I've seen people videotape fucking cops going 50 down Centerway, and while they're going 50 right behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
trooper fucking, what he had, a 1 week suspension without pay.
oh, for
I
real?
think I put that video out too. I called his fucking command post up in DeForest right after it happened. Apparently he was going home off fucking duty. I followed his ass all the way down close to my fucking neighborhood by Joliet and Center there. Fucking got all the way there recording the shit. He was fucking weaving and speeding. He had been going at least 15 over. So I fucking emailed the fucking whoever, his master sergeant or whatever. He looked at that. He called me a couple days later. He goes, I just wanted to give you an update. I did review everything, your footage, blah, 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 his statements. Even though he was on his way home, he was off duty. So I don't know if he issued him a ticket or whatever the fuck, but he suspended him for an entire week without pay. I'm like, that's badass shit. I think I actually posted some of that. Like a month or two ago, but yeah, that was going all the way home because I was on my way home.
They'll probably go out, come in the same door, and come out the same door.
No, they can't legally go through that. They have to go in and then come out this way.
I've been out here, man.
Shit out, because if they do go out that way and you get it on camera, you can fucking nail their ass.
Yeah. I mean, I've had them do that before.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that they
Legally, they have to go. That's an entrance only. Legally, exit only here, unless it's under existential circumstances such as an emergency evacuation.
All right.
Otherwise, they have to come through here to go out.
Huh.
And that came from the chief, well, the former chief. Because I was curious, because I had just moved down here and I didn't really know much about the fucking police department. I was curious, and I just, in normal conversation, asked him, which way do they get, come out and go in? And he said, as we mentioned, legally they have to go in that way. Legally they have to come out this way. Blah blah blah.
It's like they don't want you to go. They got signs over there on that other parking lot too. Like what? I mean, you're putting signs up at the driveway. You can't go in the driveway.
See, if this were a nice, quiet, safe enough town, I would fucking hit record on this thing and go over there and record that. But I can't see this from there.
Oh right.
With my luck, someone's ass is gonna walk away with this shit. There was a town of Braidwood, Illinois, fucking small town, 5,000 people. I was able to do that. I would leave the fucking camera on one side of the building, hit record, and I felt safe enough to fucking walk around the other side and record something else. Because no one's gonna touch shit there.
Well, I came down here one time and there was a guy. He was being like loud. And it was two officers. It was the chief and there was another guy. So I stopped just to see what was going on. And the chief went back into the police station. He came out and he handed the dude a card. And then after he handed the dude the card, the dude wasn't mad anymore. And then I watched him walk all the way down to Keeley's to the drugstore and go in there. So did they pass out debit cards here to, like, maybe he was an informant and the chief gave him fucking money? Because he was just irate. And then when they gave him that card, he was like, oh, and they gave him hugs and he was high-fiving him and everything. But before, he was like, fucking hate you fuckers, man, blah, blah, blah. And then chief gave him what looked like a business card, and then the next thing you know, he was happy. Yeah. And then, like, I filmed him walking all the way down to the Keys, and then he turned around and he saw me. I didn't leave my spot, like I didn't follow, I just sat there, but I zoomed in, and he sat down at the parking lot. He was like, what? And I'm like, nothing, I'm just watching you, dude. So, I don't know. I see a lot of weird shit when I'm out here.
I rarely ever see weird shit.
Yeah. He quick looked over, and then looked back.
The truck guy?
No. He got in the black truck over here. See, they went out the other way.
Holy shit.
See, they doing it because I'm here.
Sources, you can't actually do that. There is another door here, which is where they're supposed to exit from. That door is where they're supposed to enter. But because me and Nomad are standing out here, apparently they want to exit over there. Let's see if we can catch one more.
What would they do if I went over there? Or somebody stand over there, huh?
Cut somebody off. He must be in a hurry to get to that Dunkin' Donuts one.
He's in a hurry to get away from our cameras. Oh. There he is. That's one of the guys. He was.
That's one of your arresting officers right there.
Yeah. I think he was just following orders, so I feel bad for him. He looks like a rookie. Like he just started, got his license.
He does. That is one of the ones that arrested. That's what I saw in that traffic stop yesterday, right before going to that courthouse. Oh, there's it. Is that the one with the truck? Oh, this is bad. Get along with him. I don't remember his name, but I got along with him.
I don't get along with any of them.
Siren works.
Yeah, they did that the day I got arrested too. When I was trying to point out the thing, they hit the lights and everything. You couldn't even hardly hear me.
They actually tested here.
Right.
Make sure it works before they
Right.
How's it going? How's it going, guys? You have a beautiful day.
It is nice, isn't it?
No snow.
And it's actually kind of warm for a change.
See, they come out, as they used to, when I used to film them, they used to come out in their uniforms. And now they put a shirt over because when you talk to them when they're off, when they don't have the uniform, they're off duty, so then they can get you for harassment. That's how they got me.
Yeah, but it's not harassment.
Yeah, but that's how they got me for time, because I didn't leave the officers alone while they were leaving.
It's still not harassment.
Yeah.
Not by statutes. They just try to, because if you go to court, 9 times out of 10, if you go to jury trial, they're going to believe the cop over you.
Right.
Even if they have video evidence,
Yeah.
they're still going to have a 50-50 shot on that. Because if you have body cam footage or anything showing what happened, it's unrefutable, but apparently in a lot of cases it is.
Yeah.
Got more of you coming out. I'm going to save some footage on here, save some space.
Sergeant, Nicholas Sergeant, yeah.
Beards, I look like him.
Yeah.
I can't really make too much of a negative comment on him yet because I don't have all the body cams.
Right.
And that traffic stop was justified to a point. The search, however, I still don't think it was.
Just on the simple fact that she was leaving the house. I mean, yeah, she had both.
Alleged drug house.
Right, but that was like the only thing they talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Like because he already knew. He's like, you ever gonna get this one registered?
Mm-hmm.
And so he knew that they weren't registered. So that's yeah.
See, what I have to do is I have to go backtrack all that body cam. That's why I requested all that body cam to go back and see what kind of pattern and what he said each and every time.
Right. I don't like her
Small
either.
little skinny one. I don't know who she is. She like weird. I feel like she's.
Yeah.
Is that like Washington State? You cannot fucking pull somebody over in an unmarked squad car. I think there's a couple other states, but Washington started it.
Yeah.
Because anybody can grab one of these fucking cars, these trucks, these Explorers, and make it look like a squad car with the lights and pull somebody over.
Oh, right. Definitely. Yeah.
There's a lot of impersonators, and that's why they stopped it in Washington, saying that because of that, we cannot do that anymore. It has to be a marked unit.
All right.
That's what they should be doing out here. And I had to check into it because I saw a traffic stop in Fort with an unmarked, and I was like, isn't that illegal? I looked up that, and I'm like, damn it, no, it's not. I was hoping to catch him on that. But it's also entrapment. Another statute they came up with up there in Washington State was not only the police impersonators, but it's also entrapment.
Wasn't that where Gavin was?
Oh yeah, Gavin.
The guy that went down to Florida. He's in Mexico. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was a fucking legend, man.
Yeah. He was the very first one to. Like I watched and I was like, oh, I could do this. Oh, okay, that's awesome. I'm gonna go do this from now on. Cause
he inspired me actually. I was watching some of the videos before he got chased out and went to Mexico. And I was like, I didn't know you could do all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
I knew people occasionally do this, but I didn't think they could really do that.
Right.
And my ex at that time, she was like, oh, that's just stupid. You're gonna get shot one of these days. Well, I almost did.
Yeah.
But that's that one video where the cop had his fucking hand on the fucking gun. And the gun was actually about an inch out of the holster.
No.
And he's shining his flashlight at me, thinking it's not going to show. But if you looked at the video close enough, you could see it, and that's why I even said to him, why is your hand on your gun? Oh, it's always on my gun. It's the same fucking Braidwood cop that I had talked to like 2 weeks ago before that video. He knew who I was because we had a half an hour talk at a Casey's gas station because he was watching the place after they closed.
Right.
And we sat out there and bullshitted for like good 20, 30 friggin' minutes.
Oh.
And then he was like, well, I know who you are. And then at one point in the video, he also said, I don't know who you are.
Right. Huh.
Like, I know what you're about. Okay, then why do you have your hand on your gun on a consistent pattern of harassment on citizens? This is the funniest thing because I was 15 below zero. I'm out there doing a story because the DOD had asked me to do some B-roll footage in a couple of their installations, both regular Army as well as National Guard. I never got to one of the Army bases. I went as far as Guard before they canceled it. But that one day, it was 15 below zero. I'm walking up and down these streets getting all these different shots, different angles of it. The base never said anything because they already knew what was happening.
Right.
He happened to be rolling by. This cop, Officer Wright, he asked me if everything was okay. It's 15 below zero. I'm walking around.
Oh, right.
You know, I understood. I was like, dude, I completely, respect you for that. Then he sat at the fucking entrance. My car was parked close by. So I'm going back to my car. I go up to him, and he's sitting in his car, got the window rolled down just a little bit, and I was going up there to thank him for being professional. He's like, I don't want to be anything, just being a complaint.
Right.
So I came back out later that night just to find out if I could see him again. Small town, there's only 2 cops patrolling. I'm going to run into him.
Right.
And I did. And I was trying to find out if he was having a bad day. He ended up pulling me over on my way out of town because he said that my license plate light was off and he couldn't see the license plate from, get this, 500 feet away.
For real?
That's where he screwed up, and I had that recorded. As I'm recording that, and after the traffic, he issued a ticket. I got out after the stop, recorded my license plate. The funny thing is the chief of police already knew I was coming in the next morning.
Yeah.
Because I said on video, I will be at the freaking, department, blah, blah, blah. But one of the guys that was across the street, one of the neighbors, saw it. He called the chief. The chief then watched that video and was waiting for me when I got there. He's like, I knew you were coming in, Michael. He's like, one of your subscribers was right across the street from that stop.
Oh, for real?
And I posted that. It was the funniest damn thing because he was basically, that chief of police, he was kissing my ass at that point. Because he's like, yeah, he's wrong. The state statute is 50 feet, and you can clearly see both of your lights were on. And state law in Illinois, only one of the 2 have to be on to light it up.
Right.
And both of them were on. And that officer claimed they were both off. Because I asked him if during the stop, I was like, can I go take a look at it? Because I don't believe you. Oh, no, you stay in your car until I'm done.
Right.
Okay. I was like, fine, write me a fucking ticket, and then I'll get it on camera that it is actually working. And if it's not, well, then I'll own up to it. But
Right.
as soon as he said 500 feet, I didn't catch it until I was editing the video after I got home, and I was like, wait a minute, 500 feet? Nobody can see a fucking license plate from 500 feet
Right.
with the naked eye.
Right.
And I looked up the ISC on that one and went, no, it says 50 feet. And he said 500 very clearly.
Right.
I'm like, dude, really, fuck that one up. But yeah, he got a 2-day suspension, and then again, the chief, me and him were staying in touch. I did interview with the cop, I interviewed one of these other officers, which I posted. That's still on there, actually. And we just stayed in touch. He was a former Joliet cop, and I know a lot of the Joliet cops from doing this especially, and yeah, Fred was just like, I ended up terminating him because he had a habit of doing this. He's got a lot of citizen complaints that were never actually filed.
Oh, for real?
Citizens would come in, ask for a complaint, but it would never make it to the chief's desk.
Wow.
So he had a habit of doing stupid crap like that. But,
I wonder, yeah.
Yeah, the city attorney dropped the ticket on the same friggin' day I walked in there. He's like, I already discussed it with the city attorney, and we've already, dropped this ticket before it even makes it to the county. Oh, well, then that's something. And I told the chief, I says, I hope you don't mind, because we're in an interview room. I says, I hope you don't mind I'm recording. He goes, no, I encourage it. Please do.
All right.
He goes, if you want to post this, go for it. Okay. And the funny thing is, the first time I interacted with this officer was even before that, at the department when I was recording some of the department, trying the whole First Amendment thing. And I ran into him. He was doing something outside, and I ran into him and I asked him what his name was. And he was all professional. Oh, my name's Officer Wright, blah, blah, badge number, whatever. And I posted the video basically saying he was a good one. And the title of it was Officer Wright Does Right.
All right.
But apparently he didn't want to be YouTube famous.
Oh.
So he tried to retaliate. I'm like, you're an idiot.
No.
Like, I made you look good. I didn't have to. It was shitty footage because it was at night. You could barely see much of it. And it was fucking snowing, so all you hear is crackling of snow.
Right.
But enough to where you could hear him talking professionally. And I tried to, make you look good. I went through a lot of editing to clear up most of the background noise to get your voice more transparent. I'm actually surprised that nobody called the cops to say that we're out here either.
I'm surprised that there's people playing at the park. I never see anybody play at the park.
I see it all the time. I've seen them out here in the cold.
Yeah.
Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I don't know, whatever, we had some snow on the ground. They were out here freaking playing.
Yeah.
Because I drove past here going, you're nuts.
I mean, I guess if you live right here, or right in those buildings, that'd be a perfect place to get kids, right? I don't know, man. They bring perps up in here, though. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little weird because you go on those maps on fucking child predator maps, man, and you type in your address right here in Janesville, and there's a lot of them in the area, and right here probably. So I mean, it was like the longest thing. Let go of the child molesters because the child molesters have like eight charges. This is his second time, and then the drunk driving. Like there's some of them that are walking around. They got like 8 of them, 10 of them. It's like his 10th offense, and I'm like,
Wisconsin, how do you have so many OWIs and still get a fucking chance to drive?
Yeah.
Illinois got a 3-strike rule. You're fucked. You will never drive again anywhere in the 50 states.
Right.
Here, I've seen that come across news feeds woman gets 4th OWI or 8th OWI. I'm like, how did you get that many? And you're still
I think it might be job security because they know they're going to reoffend. So then it gives them the illusion.
Risking people's lives.
Right. Yeah.
Illinois did away with that because before in Illinois, I think it was 6. Then the one thing that I could say that the governor, even though he's a piece of garbage, actually did correctly was limit. He was trying to limit it to 2, which I would have agreed with. But then they came up with 3, and he went ahead and signed off on it. But his whole theory is, if we keep letting this happen, eventually you're going to have innocent families getting killed. Yeah. Because we let it happen all the way 6 times.
Right.
Within 6 times, you're bound to kill somebody.
Right, and and a lot of people are talking about, are they just what are they going to wait until you hurt somebody and then lock them away?
Exactly.
I mean, where's the corrective? Scary. Where's the accountability? I mean, obviously he's not learning his lesson if he's getting slapped on the hand. I mean, I got a drug charge when I was 18 years old, and it set me up to penitentiary for 3 years, and I haven't touched that shit since. And I was just selling it. I haven't fucking done anything. So I learned my lesson. So I guess maybe some people don't, but I had a mandatory 3-year sentence. So because I got caught with 1,000 feet from a park, so it was automatic 3-year statute. No, I didn't get no good time, so I had to do the whole 3 years. So I got out with no parole, but I've been straight ever since, and then up until this right here. But my childhood, when I was growing up, man, I had petty crimes. I was living on the streets, so I was just whatever. I'm not excusing itself, but I learned, but when they arrested me, they used everything. They used my background. I haven't been in trouble in fucking, I don't know, my son's 16 years old, and I haven't had any fucking, my son was amazed. He was disappointed that I got arrested. He said, Dad, he said, you got arrested for swearing. He says, I haven't seen you get any police contact for my whole life until this. And he says, this is bullshit, And I'm like, yeah, But they arrested me because they knew who I was. And because of my color of the past, they knew that they could stack some charges on it. Because that's what the jury fucking heard. My last statement was, the DA said, how many crimes have you been convicted of? And I had to tell him the number.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to tell him the number. So my lawyer, he went through, pulled it all out. He says, you've been convicted 11 times through your whole life. And he says that's pretty amazing. You're 45 fucking years old. He says 11 times, you know, but they still looked at it as that, oh, you're just a fucking bad guy, and he's rolling around harassing police officers. That's what they, because I wasn't allowed to talk about my First Amendment. I wasn't allowed to talk about why I was down there protesting them. My lawyer said I can't do that. And every time I did, the DA would object, and then it would get scrubbed from the thing. I mean, at one point, my lawyer and the DA were fighting in the middle of court, and the lawyer and the judge stopped court proceeding, excused the jury, and he waited until the whole jury left, and then closed the door, and he says, if that happens again, I will call a mistrial. He says, you guys sit there and argue like that in my courtroom again, and I'm on stand. And he says, that was ridiculous. He says, was unprofessional, both of you. You know, and I'm like, damn. And then they called the jury back in. These guys. Because even though the officers that weren't involved, they still sat there and watched them do it to me. You know, so you're just as guilty as them.
It's true. That's why a lot of people sit there and say, well, that cop didn't do anything, so why is he the bad cop? Because he watched it happen and stop it.
His co-workers fucking violated my rights, so he can get it too.
I remember this is the reason why, besides watching Gavin, which kind of inspired me, but then the turning point for me was after that first accident back in 2014. I was going through physical therapy, learning how to walk all over again. One night I went out at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Wilmington, there's only one gas station open 24 hours a day. It's a mile down the road on the other side of town. That's how small the town is. It's about a mile to a mile and a quarter wide.
Okay, so you blink and you're right through the town,
yeah. Pretty much. So I was using a quad cane at that point, and you know, the one's got the 4 prongs on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I had to use that to, you know, walk. I was at the end stages of my therapy. So I go down to the gas station, said insomnia. I was like, I couldn't sleep, the pain was killing me, and walking actually helped it. So I go down there, go to the gas station, get my beverage, shoot the shit for a few minutes with the clerk. I leave. Now here's the gas station, here's a strip mall parking lot here, main drag Route 53. Now in order to get across, you have to go this way and then across to get over there to the other side of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So I get over here across the street from the Shell, hadn't even made it across the parking, or to the 53 yet, or across there. I see a county mountie whip into the parking lot. I'm like, no big deal. I thought I saw a car coming, so I sat there for a moment. They turned into the gas station. He whips around, flips on all of his lights, spotlighted me and everything.
Oh, wow.
And claimed suspicious activity.
Just for walking.
And claimed that, because I told him about the accident, I was like, dude, I've got back pain from my accident and all this other stuff. That's why I'm, you know, doing this. He had the audacity. Now, I wasn't filming any of this. I wish I would have. He didn't have dash or body cam or anything going, so I couldn't get that. I tried after the fact. But he's sitting there patting me down. I had a utility knife in this back pocket. I had a fucking blade hanging here. So he took the blade and everything else, put it into my ball cap, put it on his squad car. So that's for my safety while I deal with the situation. But he left the utility knife in my pocket. Okay? He claimed it was suspicious, and he goes, I don't know if you just stole that cane from an old lady. And just started walking down here. What?
Wow, you're just making up crimes now?
And he's like, I've got a bad back, but I don't need a cane. I'm like, dude, my back went like this in about half a second and paralyzed me temporarily for the last 6+ months.
Huh.
The reason why I explained everything why I'm walking, and he's like, well, I don't really believe it, but we're going to keep an eye out for you. And then gave me all the stuff back. He says, you know, you got to be a little bit more careful. It just looks like you're kind of acting suspicious out here. I'm like, I'm walking.
Right.
With a cane.
Like,
with canes.
Yeah.
And then I get about maybe 3 or 4 blocks away from the house. Wilmington PD stops in the middle of the road. I'm going, here we freaking go. Now they're going to do it. Officer rolls down the window and goes, hey, bud, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm just out for a walk. He goes, you need a ride? being professional. And I explained to him what I was doing. It helped me. He goes, all right, man, we'll be in there. If you need anything, just go, give us a call. We'll help you out. And I told him what the hell just happened. He goes, well, you better file a complaint. Ended up, eventually that cop got fired from somebody else's perspective. But yeah, and then I sat there after about a couple months. Finally, was back on my feet. And I'm like, Gavin might be onto something. I might be going and doing this.
Yeah.
By the time I got out there to try to do it with that county mountie, he was already fired.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Like I remember watching Gavin one time where he was filming a cop, and the cop sent like a perp after him to pick a fight with him. I'm like, I wonder if they fucking really have tried to do that with me. That's why
I don't doubt it.
That's why I lock my bike up, make sure everything's in, because they'll send somebody that will fucking come in and thieve, and try to steal something from me just so I would make a fucking police report so they could fucking hey, so you need the cops, or whatever,
I was like with Chicago PD. Never worked with the guy. Really wanted to, but he ended up passing away. I can't remember his real name, but you ever hear of Disorderly Product News? DPN. He was one of the big dogs before he passed away. And I always wanted to work with him because he always did Chicago. And I was just hitting into that neighborhood at the same time. But they were sending undercover off-duty cops after him and trying to get him into shit.
Wow.
And I don't know if those videos are still up, or I haven't even seen his channel. I don't know if it's even still up there. But he caught him on it a lot of times, and CPD basically dropped that and stopped doing it. But they had a habit of off-duty cops and, unmarked and all that coming after him. Because he was recording them and outing a lot of them for doing what they were doing. Because he got a lot of crooked cops out there. But Chicago PD has actually cleaned up the rap quite a bit in the last few years, because between him, a couple other people, and myself, we got him on.
I think we
nailed him. That's what I'm trying to do here. Because I went hardcore at first, then I lightened it up because somebody gave me that advice to do like what I'm doing here. Throw them completely off guard, and then nail them on all these things. I got so many of them freaking fired and suspended, it was ridiculous. And that's what Fox News in Chicago, they saw what was going on. They ended up talking to Fox National, which basically is all one thing. And then I got contracts from them and the others in 2020 to do all this stuff across the country because of my skill. So I wish I still had all that equipment, though. They had some really good equipment. They were loaning me for that stuff.
Yeah.
See, this doesn't pick up as much. I do have another torpedo mic that can freaking hone in on that apartment over there across the river. It's one of those, what do they call that now? There's a special name for it that you see in movies where they have that big dish.
Oh, yeah.
The thing in the middle.
Yeah.
It's similar to that, but it's like a torpedo mic. It's real expensive, but it can hold in on a single thing that you're aiming it at. Right across there, I could hear a conversation in that parking lot.
Yeah, that's the
And
kind of shit.
I do that with CPD occasionally. They're like, well, you got to stand back. So I get, I'll stand way the hell back here, and they're like, you're good where you're at. Okay.
And then the cameras, me filming the cops, brought me out. Got me out, going out and doing that shit. And then when they arrested me, it sent me back in again. So it's just been a roller coaster of fucking emotions in this last fucking 10 years bucking with these guys. And then people don't understand when they come when they talk to me, I fucking just give them all kinds of anger because that's what I feel for these guys. Because even the officers that weren't involved, they still sat there and watched them do it to me. So you're just as guilty as them.
It's true. That's why a lot of people sit there and say, well, that cop didn't do anything, so why is he the bad cop? Because he watched it happen and stopped it.
His co-workers fucking violated my rights, so he can get it too.
I remember this is the reason why, besides watching Gavin, which kind of inspired me, but then the turning point for me was after that first accident back in 2014. I was going through physical therapy, learning how to walk all over again. One night I went out at 1 o'clock in the morning. Wilmington, there's only one gas station open 24 hours a day. It's a mile down the road on the other side of town. That's how small the town is. It's about a mile to a mile and a quarter wide.
Okay, so you blink and you're right through the town,
pretty much. So I was using a quad cane at that point, and the one's got the 4 prongs on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I had to use that to walk. I end stages of my therapy. So I go down to the gas station, said insomnia. I was like, I couldn't sleep, the pain was killing me, and walking actually helped it. So I go down there, go to the gas station, get my beverage, shoot the shit for a few minutes with the clerk. I leave. Now here's the gas station, here's a strip mall parking lot here, main drag, Route 53. Now, in order to get across, you have to go this way and then across to get over there to the other side of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So I get over here across the street from the Shell, hadn't even made it across the parking, or to the 53 yet, or across there. I see a county mountie whip into the parking lot. I'm like, no big deal. I thought I saw a car coming, so I sat there for a moment. They turned into the gas station. He whips around, flips on all of his lights, spotlighted me and everything.
Oh, wow.
And claimed suspicious activity.
Just for walking.
And claimed that, because I told him about the accident, and I was like, dude, I've got back pain from my accident and all this other stuff. That's why I'm, doing this. He had the audacity. Now, I wasn't filming any of this. I wish I would have. He didn't have dash or body cam or anything going, so I couldn't get that. I tried after the fact. But he's sitting there patting me down. I had a utility knife in this back pocket. I had a fucking blade hanging here. So he took the blade and everything else, put it into my ball cap, put it on his squad car. So that's for my safety while I deal with the situation. But he left the utility knife in my pocket. Okay? He claimed it was suspicious, and he goes, I don't know if you just stole that cane from an old lady. And just started walking down here. What?
Wow. You're just making up crimes now?
And he's like, I've got a bad back, but I don't need a cane. I'm like, dude, my back went like this in about a half a second and paralyzed me temporarily for the last 6+ months.
Huh.
The reason why, I explained everything why I'm walking, and he's like, well, I don't really believe it, but we're going to keep an eye out for you. And then gave me all the stuff back. He says, you got to be a little bit more careful. It just looks like you're kind of acting suspicious out here. I'm like, I'm walking.
Right.
With a cane.
Like,
People walk with canes.
yeah.
And then I get about maybe 3 or 4 blocks away from the house. Wilmington PD stops in the middle of the road. I'm going, here we freaking go. Now they're going to do it. Officer rolls down the window and goes, hey, bud, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm just out for a walk. He goes, you need a ride? Being professional. And I explained to him what I was doing. It helped me. He goes, all right, man, we'll be in there. If you need anything, just go, give us a call. We'll help you out. And I told him what the hell just happened. He goes, well, you better file a complaint. Ended up, eventually, that cop got fired from somebody else's perspective.